Deep inside your cells, a silent war is being waged every single second. Thousands of times a day, your DNA, the very blueprint of your existence, is attacked by toxins, radiation, and metabolic waste. Usually, we think of medicine as something that comes in a bottle, but what if the most potent cellular defense system on the planet wasn't created in a lab? Recent breakthrough research has identified a specific class of compounds found in common vegetables that don't just provide vitamins, they actually talk to your genes. They flip switches that trigger DNA repair and actively hunt down precancerous cells before they can take root. Today we are looking at the molecular miracle of sulforaphane and the science of nutritional epigenetics. We aren't just talking about eating your greens, we are talking about upgrading your biological software to fight back against the modern world's toxic load. To understand how this food works, we first have to understand the damage. Our DNA is incredibly fragile. Think of it like a library of ancient, irreplaceable books. Every day, vandalism occurs in the form of oxidative stress. This stress causes breaks in the DNA strands. If these breaks aren't fixed correctly, the cell might start to grow uncontrollably, leading to the formation of tumors. Enter the cruciferous family: broccoli, kale, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. For decades, we knew they were healthy, but we didn't know why. We've now discovered that these plants contain a precursor called glucoraphanin. When you bite into them, a chemical reaction occurs that creates sulforaphane. This molecule is small enough to enter your cells and travel straight to the nucleus, where it acts as a general, rallying the troops of your body's internal repair crew. It's a biological master key that unlocks our most powerful survival mechanisms. The secret weapon within these vegetables is something called the NRF2 pathway. Think of NRF2 as the master regulator of the antioxidant response. Under normal conditions, NRF2 sits quietly in the cell, held in place by a protein. But when sulforaphane enters the scene, it releases NRF2, allowing it to flood into the nucleus. Once inside, it binds to a specific part of your DNA called the antioxidant response element. This triggers the production of over 200 different genes involved in detoxification and repair. These aren't just your standard antioxidants like vitamin C that neutralize one free radical at a time. This system produces phase 2 enzymes, which are long-lasting catalysts that can neutralize thousands of toxins per second. It's like moving from a single person with a bucket to an automated high-pressure sprinkler system that puts out fires throughout the entire building of your body. One of the most terrifying aspects of cancer is its ability to hide from the immune system and its relentless drive to multiply. Sulforaphane has shown a remarkable ability to interfere with this process. In laboratory studies, it has been observed to induce apoptosis, which is essentially programmed cell suicide in cancer cells. While healthy cells are left untouched, the compound signals damaged potentially cancerous cells to shut down. Furthermore, it inhibits angiogenesis, which is the process tumors use to grow their own blood vessels to feed on your nutrients. By cutting off the supply lines, these cruciferous compounds effectively starve the bad cells. It's a multi-pronged strategy: prevent the damage, fix what's broken, and if a cell is too far gone, ensure it exits the system before it can cause harm. This is the difference between passive nutrition and active biological intervention. But there is a catch, a very important one that most people miss. The magic compound, sulforaphane, doesn't actually exist in the vegetable while it's sitting in your fridge. It requires an enzyme called myrosinase to be activated. Myrosinase is stored in a separate compartment of the plant's cells. It's only when the plant is chewed, chopped, or crushed that the enzyme meets the precursor and creates the medicine. This is the plant's defense mechanism against insects. If you cook your broccoli too long, you destroy the heat-sensitive myrosinase enzyme, and you lose the majority of the benefits.
This is why many people eat tons of cooked greens but don't see the blood level changes they expect. To get the maximum DNA repairing power, you need to understand the hack. Either eat it raw, steam it very lightly for less than 3 minutes, or use a specific culinary trick to reintroduce the enzyme.
If you don't like the taste of raw broccoli, science has found a cheat code involving a common kitchen spice, mustard seed. Mustard seeds come from the same family and are packed with stable, potent myrosinase. By sprinkling just a little bit of ground mustard powder on your cooked broccoli, you provide the missing enzyme needed to convert the precursors into active sulforaphane. Studies have shown that this simple addition can increase the bioavailability of the cancer-fighting compound by up to 4 times. It's a perfect example of how traditional food pairings often have deep biochemical wisdom behind them. This isn't just about flavor, it's about chemistry. We are essentially performing a laboratory reaction right on our dinner plates to ensure that every bite we take is doing the maximum amount of work to protect our genetic integrity. While adult broccoli is great, there is a stage of the plant that is even more powerful, the sprout. 3-day-old broccoli sprouts contain anywhere from 10 to 100 times the concentration of sulforaphane precursors compared to the mature head. Eating just a small handful of these sprouts is equivalent to eating several pounds of full-grown broccoli. Researchers at Johns Hopkins University discovered that these sprouts are like concentrated medicine. In clinical trials, they've been shown to help the body detoxify airborne pollutants like benzene and acrolein, common toxins found in city smog and cigarette smoke. By taking these sprouts, you are essentially accelerating your liver's ability to flush out carcinogens before they ever get a chance to touch your DNA. It is perhaps the most cost-effective and powerful biohack available to the average person today.
The impact of this DNA-repairing food goes beyond just cancer. Chronic inflammation is the root cause of almost every modern disease, from heart disease to Alzheimer's. Sulforaphane is one of the most potent anti-inflammatory agents discovered in nature. It works by inhibiting NF-κB, a protein complex that controls the fire of inflammation in the body. When your internal inflammation levels drop, your cells stop spending all their energy on damage control and start spending it on optimization. You might notice clearer skin, better digestion, and more stable energy levels. This is because your mitochondria, the power plants of your cells, are no longer being bogged down by oxidative sludge. You are cleaning the engine while the car is still running. By protecting the DNA, you are protecting the instructions for everything your body does, ensuring that the new cells being born today are as healthy as the ones you had years ago.
Another fascinating area of research is how these compounds interact with our gut microbiome. We often think of fiber as just bulk, but cruciferous vegetables provide specific types of fiber that feed the beneficial bacteria in our colon. These bacteria, in turn, produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which have their own independent cancer-fighting and DNA protective effects. It's a symbiotic relationship. You feed the bacteria the right compounds, and they reward you by maintaining the integrity of your gut lining and modulating your immune system. If your gut is healthy, your systemic inflammation is low, and your DNA repair mechanisms can work at peak efficiency. It's all connected. You cannot fix one part of the machine without affecting the whole. This is systemic health, driven by a simple choice at the grocery store. Let's talk about the long game. Aging is, at its core, the accumulation of DNA damage. Every time a cell divides, a tiny bit of information can be lost or corrupted. Over decades, this corruption leads to the physical signs of aging and the loss of organ function. By consistently consuming sulforaphane and other cruciferous compounds, you are essentially slowing down the molecular clock. You are giving your body the tools to maintain high-fidelity replication. This is the field of geroprotection, using nutrition to extend the health span, not just the lifespan.
We want to be vibrant, sharp, and active well into our 80s and 90s. The research suggests that those who have the highest intake of these vegetables have significantly lower rates of all-cause mortality. It is the closest thing we have to a fountain of youth, and it's been sitting in the produce aisle all along.
Real-world application is key. To get these benefits, aim for at least one serving of cruciferous vegetables daily. Mix it up: purple cabbage for its anthocyanins, kale for its lutein, and broccoli for its sulforaphane. If you're using sprouts, just 2 ounces a day can make a measurable difference in your blood chemistry within weeks. Remember the rules. Chop them early to let the enzyme work. Don't overcook them, and always add a pinch of mustard seed or a bit of raw radish to ensure the reaction takes place. This isn't a restrictive diet, it's an additive strategy. You are adding biological insurance to your life. When you look at your plate, don't just see food, see a sophisticated defense system that has been evolving for millions of years specifically to keep organisms like you thriving in a hostile environment.
We live in an age where we have more control over our health than ever before. We used to believe that our genetics were our destiny, that we were just waiting for a bad gene to activate. But now we know that through the power of nutritional epigenetics, we can actually influence how our genes are expressed. You have the ability to signal your body to repair itself, to fight off cancer, and to quench the fires of inflammation. It starts with understanding that every forkful of food is a message to your DNA. By choosing these potent, sulfur-rich vegetables, you are choosing a future of resilience and vitality. So next time you sit down to eat, remember, you aren't just filling your stomach. You are protecting your blueprint, repairing your cells, and claiming your health. The science is clear. The power is on your plate. What will you choose to eat today?